Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Wake Up Woodward live on the Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam. The man to my left is Matt Broder.
What's up, Flannel?
What is up? I don't think we've ever been on the desk together at the same time, but you know what? It's all good because we've been doing this show together for quite a long time. And Detroit Kool-Aid, he will be here in just a couple of minutes. He's running a little bit late, but you know what? We thought we would start the show just us for now. We've got JBSMOOOOOV in the TD booth.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What is up, everybody? And in the sound booth, we have got nobody. Nobody right now.
Who's got it better than us?
Nobody.
Oh
But
my God.
KG is not here today. He is off. He won't be here for a Big D Energy either. But you know what? He will be there tomorrow. And for now, we are going to certainly make do and make the best with what we have, which is all well and good. That's the point of having such a versatile show with Swiss Army knives everywhere.
And Flannel,
Yeah.
we're going to change the whole script up. We're just going to change this. We're going to talk all Michigan sports.
All Michigan.
Dusty May, we're going to preview the 2024-25 Michigan football team. We can talk Michigan baseball, all of it.
All of it. Every last bit of it.
Oh.
Hey, Amorion Walker coming back to Michigan.
Hey!
248. No, I'm kidding.
Isn't Dusty May, isn't he going after the number one recruit in the country?
I believe so. Oh, my goodness. Just imagine if that happens. But what he's already been able to do with the transfer portal, like I said, this is a tournament team this year. I definitely went over that before, but I firmly, completely believe that. Of course, today we're going to be talking some Tigers to open the show, a big win, a big series win over my hated St. Louis Cardinals. We're going to talk about some assistant coaches in the city of Detroit about which is more valuable. We're going to... I think it's going to be an interesting conversation, and I want you guys to get in it as well. We got John the Doc Maakaron coming in at 8:30 for his normal slot. I certainly cannot wait for that. We're going to talk a little bit about Sione Vaki, do a bit of a player breakdown on him. We're going to do an edition of Peaks or Cheeks, talk about some free agent signings that maybe the Lions could still make, whether you want them to make them, whether or not you think their roster is set as it is now. It's going to be a really, really fun show, and as we speak, Detroit Kool-Aid has walked into the building. He will be up here in just a couple of minutes, but we got Matt Broder here, and while we got you here, the credentialed Tigers beat writer. Tigers.
How about it?
4-1 victory yesterday. Ken Maeda pitched a gem. The Tigers won their fourth consecutive series, taking 2 out of 3 from the St. Louis Cardinals. And I know, Matt Broder, you have been somebody who's been bullish on Kenta Maeda even during his struggles. And you know what? Take some flowers, man. A lot of us were ready to give up on him. Maybe we were a little preemptive.
Just a little bit preemptive. Like, he struggled. I understood the criticism in the first couple games. It was very bad. Like, he was struggling. His velocity was down. He was giving up multiple 2-3-run homers each game. It was tough, but everything he struggled with at the beginning of the season, these last 2 outings, he's done much better. Yesterday, the only run he gave up was a solo home run. I've talked about in the past, you don't get beat as a starting pitcher. You don't get beat with solo home runs. Of course, you don't want to give up any home runs, but if you're going to, you give them up with runners not on base. He did give up a bomb, like a 430-foot bomb from Wilson Contreras, but that was his one mistake. I think it was 3 hits over the course of 4 hits, that 1 earned run, 5 Ks, 0 walks. He only threw 79 pitches in 6 innings. It was efficient. It was crafty. The splitter was looking good. The slider was looking as good as he has all season. I was impressed with Kenta Maeda, even on the Bally Sports app.
Oh, man, yeah. Speaking of which, that is something that there are a lot of people in this city that unfortunately could not watch the Tigers yesterday, and that's quite a shame. And if you didn't, you missed a good one because, as you said, Kenta Maeda pitched phenomenally. 6 innings, 1 earned run. You couldn't ask for any more. 79 pitches, super efficient. He probably could have went out there and pitched the 7th or 8th as well. But you know what? That's where you've got this bullpen from. Will Vest, he's had a couple of rough outings lately. He gave up a couple of hits, but he had a scoreless 2/3. Joey Wentz and Alex Lange as well. Scoreless. Shut down the game, closed down the club completely. And Broder.
Yes.
How about Matt Vierling?
Bro, he's been, over the last couple weeks, he's been the light of that lineup almost.
Yeah.
Kerry Carpenter was hot for a week or two, but then Vierling took over when Carpenter slowed down. To go 2 for 3, he had a home run and I believe an RBI. What was it? A home run in the bottom of the 3rd, put the Tigers ahead 3-0, and then it was a sac fly in the bottom of the 8th that scored Wenceel Perez. Vierling is someone I didn't expect to contribute this much. I thought he was going to be one of the platoon third baseman / outfield, and he's come in these last couple of weeks and just started to really not just hit the ball well, but hit the ball in timely situations and really help the Tigers manufacture some of these wins against good teams.
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about yesterday, he had the big home run. You talk about the Game 2 of the Kansas City Royals series. He broke the tie, I believe, in the bottom of the 7th with a big 3-run home run. You even talk about the home opener of the season, starting the scoring with a solo home run. And that's the thing about Matt Vierling. People kind of sleep on him because he was a very valuable contributor to this team last year. And then I know going into the year, a lot of the we got to add a bunch of bats people like the Matt Chapmans, who has an on-base percentage of .266, by the way.
Of
just
what?
saying, of .266.
Oh, okay.
I will never forgive some of the people for just like acting like Matt Chapman was Mike Schmidt or something like that. But that's that's neither here nor there. Matt Vierling is the type of guy that if he gives you the production somewhat of what he did last year, or even the same or better, that's another feather in the cap for the Tigers to potentially win this division. And so far right now, he certainly is giving you that. He is the type of guy that you win with. He's the type of guy that can play all different kinds of positions, can spell some of the younger guys if they need a break or they're just not hitting effectively. Like Parker Meadows, for example, who didn't start yesterday's game. He pinch ran. He got caught stealing, which really... That kind of like burns me more than anything. I hate caught stealings more than anything in the world. When you make outs on the base pass, that's just, as somebody who values Moneyball and getting on base, if you make outs on the base path, that just burns in my craw so much. But you know what? All that being said, it doesn't matter because the Tigers got a big win.
They did, and I got to go. Actually, on the offensive side, real quick, a shout out to Colt Keith, who
absolutely
has been struggling, but came up big with the RBI double in the bottom of the 2nd to go up 1-0. It was a good at-bat, a good swing. It actually should have been walked. The call, the umpire's call, I believe, on the pitch before his double was pretty horrible. But you mentioned Will Vest and Joey Wentz and Alex Lange, and I'm gonna separate Will Vest from this group for a minute. But Kenta Maeda, Joey Wentz, and Alex Lange were all guys at the beginning of the season that people were calling for. Like, why are they the ones up? Like, Lange, when are we going to move on from Alex Lange? And he even struggled. It was his first outing. Just didn't look as sharp. But Joey Wentz, if I'm not mistaken, has a .79 ERA. His changeup has been nasty. He's really filled that role, not like a high-leverage guy, but when you need a couple innings pitched, when you need to come in and face the lefty, he's come in and he's dealt. He's painted. Oh, yeah. No, he's painted.
He absolutely. I mean, that's a great point, guys. And I'm going to talk about them a little bit more in the next segment when we preview some Detroit sports assistant coaches. But yeah, Joey Wentz has had a phenomenal year. Alex Lange. You can talk about Alex Faedo as well, and of course the usuals. I mean, Andrew Chafin with a bounce back year. That's one of the reasons why their bullpen is so good because Tyler Holton. He's having his struggles this year, but I think he's somebody that's may have his ERA been inflated a little bit by a bad outing or two. The reality is this is a good team, and I'm really, really excited to see what this team can do moving forward. And Rando Small, Sam, have you ever stole a base? No, I have not. But
he's gotten to second base before, though.
Maybe. I mean, I do have a wife, but that's neither here nor there.
By the way, you know what I'm excited about?
What are you excited about?
I'm excited about Beezer's birthday. Happy birthday, Beezer,
Happy
in the
birthday.
chat. Shout out to you.
Yes. Hey, shout out Beezer. Shout out Vincent E. We got Eric Burrow. We got Wheezy D313. Greg Allspa. Charles McLean.
Chef Talks Lions.
Chef Talks Lions is in here. We've got somebody named Woodward Pistons. I don't know who that is. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's of course our very own Detroit Kool-Aid. We got Dad with Tourette's. We got Phil, Matthew Kruger, Eric Joe Burrow. I'm kidding, but
and I know since I know you won't call him out, Shane D, Shad, Chuck Brewer, all the guys who are in here. Eric Allen, shout out to you. Wait, Beezer, is this his 30th birthday? Let's go.
Oh, that is a milestone that all of us in this room have already passed by now, and it was a. Oh, by the way, just now that we have it, a little impromptu topic. How did you guys all react when turning 30? Was it something where it was like, oh my God, I'm turning 30, or was it no big deal?
To me, if I remember correctly, I think it was no big deal because it was right in COVID. So I was just like, there was nothing going on at that time. It was just like, another night. I think I ordered maybe a second entree, carry out Grubhub. Like, I think that was my birthday celebration, really splurging, not splooging, splurging. 30, I don't know.
You know,
didn't do it for me.
That ordering in, it becomes more and more common. The older you get after 30 years old, it's like, you know what? I'd rather just order in. Let me just avoid all of the hassle. I will be at home chilling.
Good morning, by the way.
Good morning, man.
Let's
Good
go.
morning.
How's the family? How are the kids?
Hey, they're doing good. Actually, that's why I was running late.
I assume, you got 4 kids and a little one, I'll call it a newborn still.
Yeah.
Do you call her a newborn still? A toddler?
I still call her a newborn.
Okay, yeah.
You know what? She's as old as the Wake Up Woodward show.
We're babies. My voice just cracked.
That is actually true.
We're babies.
We got to find Lizzie from Canton for voter, man. We have to.
It's JB turning 30. What was that? Was it something that was gloom and doom, or was it no big deal?
I don't know if it was gloom and doom, but it was just like, oh man, those 20 years, those age of, just going out partying all night, getting up with only like a couple hours of sleep. Yeah, all that is now gone. I need like that full night's rest. Also, shout out to Ginger Nation in the chat as well too. We can't forget about the Gingers.
Ginger!
But yeah, turning 30, it wasn't scary. It was just like, all right, now I finally realized that I'm older. I kind of got to get out of these, partying ways and, just kind of settle down,
No, I completely understand. And Stephen Baffy, 30 was no big deal. 40 was not a real worry either. But 50 sucked.
I just saw that.
Yeah, it's coming for all of us at some point. But I would probably.
Advil.
You know what? It gets a little bit easier when you got the Wake Up Woodward crew, the Woodward Sports family, and the chat family as well.
Facts.
We will age gracefully as long as this crew stays the crew.
Oh, 100%. And just to give kind of my perspective on turning 30 as well.
Please.
I got to give credit to my wife for this one because she's a little bit older than me. Yeah, cougar. No,
Come on. You're married to a cougar?
She's about 3.5 years older than me, but that's all. I've always.
That's senior freshman.
I like the more and more these flannel chapters get it revealed, man.
Hey.
I love it.
But what she teach you?
Okay, so
A new chapter.
when I met her, she was 30 and I was 26. So just kind of seeing how she handled that milestone in her life, it was really like no big deal to her. And then by the time I was 30, I was already married. Shoot, I had to do I had to do a little bit of mental math in my head. Or wait, no, I was not. I was not married yet. But it's just watching her do it kind of made it a little bit easier for me, knowing the fact that I already had my person at that point. There wasn't a lot of pressure. At that point, I kind of had been done with my party days and all of that. So, yeah, turning 30 was no big deal for me. Although some days it's still kind of hard to believe because especially when I meet people and they expect me to be like 26, 27. It's like, oh, no, I'm 32, bro. I'm old. I know.
At least you didn't follow in her footsteps at 30 and date a 26-year-old.
That's fair.
You were already together. You're one of the more loyal guys I've ever, maybe the most.
I
Shout out to
appreciate
your
that.
wife.
And Shad, I got to give you credit for this one. Sam doesn't know his own stats? Question mark. Good one. Good one.
Chad, yes.
So,
A new chapter.
That is one of the best comments of all time.
That is. And
if you really think about it, top 3.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And that's why I called out with no snark whatsoever. Eduardo O'Neal. So she's who settled. I mean, sure. Why not?
She went after the young buck, the stud 26-and-a-half-year-old.
Hey,
He probably still said you were 26 and a half. But that's what they do.
I was gonna say, marrying up, kudos, bro. It's kudos. I love it, man. I love it.
I mean, it's one of the best flexes you can have.
Yeah.
And it's all well and good, but you know where else where you could work out so that when you flex, maybe there's a little more definition in the biceps.
Elite transition.
Planet Fitness, of course. Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for only $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy. You're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today? Let's have a look, man. I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake.
Hey.
Figer Law. All we do is win.
All we do is win. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Hey, you guys, the new Glorious Ice Water Bubble Hash pre-roll now has diamonds in it. Look, they are constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience just for you. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers with only the highest terps and making the best even better. You can go to gloriouscannabis.com, or you can check them out at your local retailer. It's Glorious Cannabis. They got diamonds in them, baby.
Let's go. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Broder has put on a few more shades of tan underneath these lights. Nah, it's your boy Kool-Aid. Hey, what up, though, Broder? You know what, man, people?
What up, though?
You guys are the most important part of this show. Go ahead and smash that like button once you've done so. Encourage someone else to do the same. But what's really cool is this Wake Up Woodward family, this crew, how important that we try to make each other. I appreciate guys like Flannel, JB, KG, and Broder, who have all stated for a while, as well as when this show started, they just wanted to see me get an opportunity. So Broder, Flannel, whenever you guys step up in the sound booth, it means the world to me. It really does. So I appreciate you guys a lot.
Of course.
This experience has been epic, and it's cool that I get to do it with some of my bros as well.
Let's go.
Thank you guys. Just wanted to make sure I shout you guys out first.
Much deserved, Kool-Aid. You put in the work and the time, and you're good at what you do. So we're growing together. We're figuring this all out. It's just the beginning. Remember, we're toddlers. We're newborns.
Bro, it's easier when you got a squad that works, bro. When you got a squad that runs. When you got a squad that's elite. So
100%.
That's you guys. And you know what, man? These Detroit Tigers, man. They continue to impress me. Obviously, there are some wrongs we hope that they right as time goes on so that this thing can be a little bit more sustainable. But 4 series wins in a row for the Detroit Tigers. And the next 2, I'm hoping, are series wins as well, because after that, they have a little bit of some tough games on the schedule between the Yankees and the Royals, I believe.
And the Guardians.
And the Guardians.
And the Astros. And the Marlins. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yep.
That's too much.
What's too much is the fact that this team actually has won 4 series in a row.
Yeah. And if I'm looking at the next couple series, they've got 3 at the Yankees and 3 at the Guardians. If I'm not being greedy, I would take 3-3 on that road trip. Ideally, 4-2 would be. I mean, 4-2 we'd be doing backflips because then that would probably be 6 consecutive series wins or a sweep and then getting beat 2 out of 3. That would be absolutely fantastic. But if you can take 3 out of the next 6, you're in a good spot. That's like if you can win your series at home and then go about 500 on the road. That's kind of what the old age saying when it comes to sports in general. But the Tigers have been playing well on the road this season. They've actually played better on the road than at home. But the Yankees, that's a different animal, at least when it comes to talent. They're one of the more talented teams in the MLB. They added Juan Soto. My goodness, still have Aaron Judge. Still got Giancarlo Stanton and all of them. So it's definitely going to be one of those gauges of just how good if the Tigers can compete with like the elite of the American League.
Oh yeah.
Every time I hear the term gauge, I think of C.J. Gardner-Johnson now and his Russell Gage comments.
Oh my god.
CJ, man, he's gonna find a way to survive on this show.
Definitely,
one way or another. He said too much, and he got under flannel skin way too much. For
that's
that
facts.
just die. But yeah, when you look at the Tigers' schedule coming up here, the Yankees and the Indians, we're gonna get. Or the Guardians, I must say. The Guardians.
Oh, that's all good.
We're going to get a clear look at exactly what this Tigers team is against the elites, like you stated. And if they handle business, they're going to be – like, I keep sitting here thinking, if they go 3-3 like you stated, what is their record after the next 4 series in total? Like, are we going to be looking at a team that's approaching 10 games above 500 just after the first month of the season?
Well, I mean, you certainly have that opportunity. I mean, the Miami Marlins aren't good. Obviously, baseball is a funny game, and any team can kind of pop up and get you a couple times out of 3. But the Astros, they have a losing record, but you still believe in some of their talent, obviously, like Alvarez and Bregman and all of them, and you know Jose Altuve. They've got. But also, what stands out to me about their schedule moving forward is you've got 3 at Cleveland, and Cleveland we still don't know. We still don't know about the Tigers, for that matter, but we still don't know if all of these teams in the American League Central, which now looks like a gauntlet of a division, are for real or not. Now that I'm really talking about it and thinking about it, it would be really nice for the Tigers, regardless of what they do at New York, at Yankee Stadium, to take 2 out of 3 from Cleveland. And then in a future road trip that's coming up towards the end of May, they've got 3 at Kansas City. Those are the series that you most certainly have to focus on winning. So to me, now that I'm kind of thinking out loud and talking out loud, would I like to see them win the Yankees series at New York? Certainly. But I just want to see if Cleveland's good or not.
Yeah.
I want to see if the Tigers are good or not. I think that they are, but pretty much every single team in this AL Central right now that has an above 500 record, I think there's 4 teams that are 4 games or more above 500. I don't think we know for sure if any of them are actually good. This was supposed to be the worst division maybe in all of sports. Baseball's a funny game,
Pitching does wonders.
Yes.
It keeps them in every game, in every series. Like, that's whether we're going to play New York or we're playing Oakland's a bad example because they're Tigers killers in general. But if you're playing the top team or the worst team, we know that this starting rotation and bullpen, this pitching staff, has the makeup to keep them in every single game and give them a chance to win every single series. Like, really, the question marks come down to that offense and if they can score enough to support this stellar staff. I mean, if Kenta Maeda is consistently going 5 or 6 innings, giving up 1 run, if Flaherty gives you 70% of what he did the other day, 14 strikeouts against the Cardinals, and then you know what you're going to get out of Skubal. Mize looks great. Reese Olson, Matt Manning down in AAA. It's a staff built for the long term and one that can help them all throughout this season.
Yeah,
bro, you are the Kenta Maeda whisperer, bro.
I told you guys, be patient.
Speaking it into existence.
Be patient. JB, do you have those? There are 3 short videos or just clips while we're talking.
Yeah, I got you.
Just to show Kenta Maeda, who doesn't throw hard, and I think Randy Smalls in the chat said something before, like he's just got to get his feel for his pitches. This first one. This is a nasty splitter to a left-handed hitter, just absolutely pulling the cord, pulling the string from that. You see the hitter swing so early, and that's his splitter. That's his go-to. That needs to look like a fastball and then fall off the table. And then these, yesterday, his slider was disgusting. Like, these are two hitters in the middle of their order, and he's making them look silly with these swings. Just looking like a fastball out of his hands, and then at the last minute, cutting down.
Just falls off the table.
Falls off the table down to an unhittable pitch, to a Javi Baez type unhittable pitch.
These guys aren't even making, like, confident swings. Just like halfway through the swing, they know. Dang it.
Yep, shoot, guessed wrong.
Yeah.
Oops, bad decision.
Yeah, and,
Oh, man.
and we saw in the Cardinals series, we saw Ken Maeda pitch his best outing of the year, and you saw Jack Flaherty pitch maybe the best I've ever seen him pitch. And these are guys that there were some question marks about coming into the season. There were some question marks about early in the season, but just imagine if they figure it out. If they are guys that can give you kind of what you thought you'd get from them, that veteran starting pitcher who gives you 30 starts, who maybe gives you even an ERA under 4, that's a very good, I would say a concoction for the Tigers winning the division. And I wanted to read this comment from Ken Ozzie. Let me find it. Sam, or maybe you're looking at this wrong. Maybe you underestimated the division, and the division is better than what you think. You ever thought about that as a possibility? Certainly, which is why I put a lot of importance on what they do when they go to Cleveland in their series. Not this weekend, but the following week. I believe it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That'll tell me a lot. And I know it's just one series, and baseball is a very, very long season, 162 games, but I'm more than open to the fact that the AL Central is better than we think. How can you not be at this point?
How can you not?
Yeah, definitely. The pitching has been it's been one that the AL Central can say, you know, we're probably one of the elites as relates to divisions and as relates to pitching. I know the relief pitching as well. But when you look at the Detroit Tigers, their strength right now is pitching, whether it's the starters, whether it is the relievers. And it got me to thinking, it got Broder to thinking, got us to thinking, and I'm glad you kind of put this on the show rundown as well. We have some pretty elite, in my opinion, some pretty elite assistant coaches in Detroit. Well,
Absolutely.
amongst two teams, we can say. With the Tigers, you got pitching coach Chris Fetter. With the Detroit Lions, you have offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. I got to ask you guys, and Broder, I got to start with you, man. Which one do you think is the better assistant coach?
So who's the most valuable, like, assistant coach
Who's
in
the
Detroit?
most valuable assistant coach in Detroit?
This is, I put this in the rundown because it's a fascinating question to me. And it's always hard to compare different sports, and especially coaches in different sports. But to me, at this point of the team, of the organization, I know you're probably going to sense a little bit of bias out of this. My gut's telling me right now it's Chris Fetter. Just in terms of what's needed to develop this staff, to develop the young staff, to keep the bullpen pitching as well as they have been really the last couple of years when the team has been awful. The pitching has been solid, and the bullpen's actually been really good. Ben Johnson, there's certainly a case for him too, and it's not an argument if any of you guys pick him. I just think now in year 4, he's certainly important to the Detroit Lions. I think there are enough things in place where the team can continue to take some of what Ben Johnson brought to the Lions should he take a head coaching job next year. I think Jared Goff has gotten stronger. I think Mark Brunell and Jared Goff learning under Ben Johnson for the last 3 years going into year 4 is super important. But I think at this moment, and I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts, I think it's Chris Fetter.
I think you got to say Ben Johnson, and I know that I'm giving Ben Johnson the team has had a team success bump, but here's the reality, and I think people forget about this because why wouldn't you want to forget about this? Because this is stuff of nightmares. How it started in 2021 with some of the same people that you see thriving now with Anthony Lynn. The team started out 0-10-1. We're scoring 15.9 points per game, only scored 20 points in a game once. I believe Anthony Lynn was demoted after the 8th game of the year, but still. Jared Goff gave you 10 touchdowns, 6 picks. Amon-Ra St. Brown was just a pretty good rookie receiver for a 4th-round pick. 39 catches, 352 yards, no touchdowns. Once they figured out the new system of demoting Anthony Lynn, elevating Ben Johnson to passing game coordinator, and having him work with Dan Campbell and Dan Campbell calling plays. In the last 6 games, the Lions were 3-3, scored 25 per game. Goff in 4 games, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. St. Brown in the last 6, 51 for 560 and 5 touchdowns. Jamal Williams had his only 2 70-yard rushing games of the year. Craig Reynolds had an 112-yard rushing game and an 83-yard rushing game. And DeAndre Swift even, in those couple games, those games against Philly and, not Philly, Pittsburgh and Cleveland, after Anthony Lynn had been demoted, but they hadn't quite figured it out yet, gave you 2 130-plus yard rushing games. And then, of course, with all of that in conjunction, all of those improvements, the fact that the Lions also scored 25 points per game, you saw what they've done since. The Lions have had 2 consecutive years of top 5 scoring offenses. Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown have continued to thrive, been one of the best quarterback-to-receiver duos in the NFL. The offensive line has developed into the best in the NFL. You've seen no matter what running back is back there, whether it's Jamal Williams, whether it's David Montgomery, whether it's Jahmyr Gibbs, have absolutely taken off and thrived. You've seen guys that have been added to the team like Laporta, Josh Reynolds, Khalif, who was already on the team, but still he's taken a leap. DJ Chark, JMO, no matter who it is, have absolutely flourished in this system. And oh, by the way, the most important part of all is that the Lions are winning. They won a division while having a bottom 10 scoring defense, and they won 2 playoff games in games in which the defense struggled, largely in part because of the offense, which has become one of the best in the league. All due respect to Chris Fetter, but Ben Johnson is the best offensive coordinator in the NFL, and we've seen the Lions have some of the most team success we've ever seen them have, and one of the biggest contributors, in my opinion, is the Ben Johnson offensive system. No matter who goes in there, no matter who they plug in, everybody thrives, and some become superstars. Amon-Ra St. Brown, looking at you.
Hey, and you know what? What makes this honestly a little bit more close than it probably appears on paper, because Ben Johnson, that Lions offense, they obviously, we cannot deny the success and the accolades and the perch they got to last year. But when you look at what the Tigers are doing early, and this is what skews it a little bit towards Ben Johnson for me because of the previous success, the Tigers are just now getting to this level of success, and it's only the first month into the season. Is there anything, and this one I want to ask, is there anything that can happen during this Tiger season to change things? Because right now, the pitching is absolutely carrying this Detroit Tigers team.
Well, they're already in the process of, I wouldn't say changing my mind to Chris Fetter, but here's the thing, and it wasn't Chris Fetter's fault by any stretch. He was one of the best things that they had. His previous 3 years as the pitching coach, the Tigers were still bottom half of the league in team ERA every year. This year, they're 4th. And it takes time with this, and obviously they have more talent, and you've seen guys like Joey Wentz and Alex Lang and Alex Faedo step up. Obviously, what he's done with Skubal, Mize, the likes of those, absolutely phenomenal. I think what it would take for me, and whether it's fair or not, is the Tigers winning the division and the Tigers maybe being top 5 in Major League Baseball in team ERA and having that dominant bullpen. But even then, I don't know if I'd go with Fetter. But it's not because of Fetter. It's because Ben Johnson is the best assistant coach in Detroit Lions history. He has.
Yeah, and he was the number 1 head coaching candidate. And I see in the chat there were a couple people that were mentioning Mr. Hake Fraley as well, the offensive line coach for the Detroit Lions, which I know goes a long way towards helping Ben Johnson. But overall, this offense goes because of what Ben Johnson has been scheming. Even when they've missed important key players amongst that offensive line, they've still found ways to scheme around that. Even when Jahmyr Gibbs goes down, even when you're supposed to be counting on a Jameson Williams, but his starts to the season have been rocky, Ben Johnson has been able to kind of turn the dial, turn the dice, and whatever comes up, man, he's hitting every single time. Obviously, there's been some clunkers. A lot of those clunkers have been very far and few in between and have been attributed really to outside weather, but I see some people saying it's apples to oranges, but I think it's important to be able to highlight what our assistant coaches are doing, especially when these guys, our pitching staff, as well as the Lions offense, are right now appearing to be some of the best in their respective sports.
I think we should maybe pose this question to Doc.
Hey,
absolutely.
Let's do that. We got the Doc on next.
Oh,
Publisher of all Lions.
Yep, he's on the line waiting for us.
Hey, let's rock, man. He's always the best, and I can tell you guys about something else that's the best. You guys see it on the back wall there. It is Premier Pet Supply. It is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at premierpetsupply.com.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. That is 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed. It is technology backed by people. Your safety and security, it deserves technology that's been proven to work, people that's been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you all for choosing to kick off your day with the crew. We got 4 out of 5 here. Shout out to Mr. KG as well. We got Mr. Broder, JBSMOOOOOV Sports' MVP, the vet of the squad, Flannel Sam, and your boy Detroit Kool-Aid. And now it's time to bring on the doc, the publisher of All Lions, Mr. John Maakaron, also host of the Detroit Sports Podcast and wearer of Detroit caps. What up, though?
Yeah, absolutely, fellas. Last night, chatting with friends, someone said, "Oh my God, Doc's haircut. Keep wearing hats." They compared my hairstyle to Mussolini, the Italian dictator. I said, "My God, you guys are brutal." So I definitely need to be wearing hats with this dome.
Oh my God. Welcome to the show, Doc. As always, man, one of the best segments of the week. Glad to have you here. We were just having this little bit of a conversation between who's the most valuable assistant coach in Detroit right now. OC Ben Johnson, obviously everything he's done with the Lions, and he has that success kind of in the past seasons. But we see what the Detroit Tigers pitching staff is doing this year to really carry this team. Really one of the few things carrying this team to 18-13 record. I got to get your take on it.
Yeah, no doubt. I've been enjoying going down to Comerica Park. The big concern clearly with the team is offensive, is the bats that still need to wake up a little bit more. Spencer Torkelson, I know there's been debates regarding sending him down to the minors, but I like the Tigers. They're a crafty team. Even though they have deficiencies, they find ways to win. And they're a good group of guys to root for. And yeah, you said it. It's a team that's doing things differently. And I think that the pitching staff deserves a lot of credit when you see the rotation that they're able to put out there. And I know A.J. Hinch took a little bit of heat for a recent loss to the Cardinals, but to me, A.J. Hinch is one of the top managers in terms of understanding how to use those pitchers. And all credit to the pitching coach and everybody that's affiliated with the bullpen and everything going on with the Tigers. That's a great story potentially if they can continue their winning ways. But to me, I agree with you guys. Ben Johnson, I think when you look at in totality what he's able to bring to the Lions, you're looking at a future NFL head coach and maybe even one of the top bright young minds in football that can exploit opposing defenses at the highest level. So it's a good situation to have right now, that outside of the Pistons, there's a lot of good coaches right now in town.
That is.
I was wondering why Steven Silas didn't make this competition, Mr. Matt Broder.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, anywho, enough about
People
that.
like Steven Silas, they don't even know he's like one of the Pistons assistant coaches, probably.
I know who Steven Silas is. But anywho, more important news. Doc, how do you feel about the Detroit Lions doubling up on a corner, getting Terrion Arnold in the first round and then getting Ennis Rakestraw Jr. in the second?
Yeah, real fast before we start talking about the draft. If you declare yourself, Kool-Aid, a relative of Arn Tellem, you might have a job for life with the Pistons. Just say, look, I'm one of your long-lost cousins. I deserve a job with the organization. You could say, look, I'm one of your cousins. I'm one of your distant nephews, whatever you got to say. If you're in line with an Arn Tellem, you get your name put in the Pistons organization, like J.J. Redick, who's never had a job in his life in an NBA front office. His name is somehow all of a sudden affiliated
Who is his
with the
agent?
Pistons. What's the link?
What was J.J. Redick's agent?
Smart.
Read between the lines, people.
Yes,
Read between
smart.
the lines.
No, what's good about the Lions? What's good about the Lions doesn't seem like the nepotism is rolling in that front office. They look to find the best talent. They find what they're looking to handle. And look, even though Brad Holmes said we keep looking for the best players available, look, even though it's a coincidence that the two best players for them ended up being cornerbacks in the first two rounds, that's great. Great problem to have. I love the picks. I think what a scene when you see Terrion Arnold walking out there and instantly, guys, pay attention too. He dropped 9 spots, potentially from 15 to 24. That cost him some money, yet he was happy. He was out there, takes the microphone, looks out into the sea of blue in Detroit and declares, I'm home. He looked so thrilled to be selected. And for the Lions, when you look and you dig about his mindset, when you play for Nick Saban, it's no joke. He's not going to coddle you. And people that have shared their thoughts about what Terrion Arnold brings to the table, they recognize, whoa, he handled tough coaching. He wants to be coached tough. Comes from a stern family, and they're not just going to pat him on the back. They want greatness. He said he wants to have a Hall of Fame career. So he's going to accept the tough coaching from Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell. No doubt about it. A perfect fit. Ennis Rakestraw, I think, gives the Lions a lot of great options in regards to eventually potentially being a starter on the outside, or if they need to, early on, move him inside, maybe even a potential at safety as well when you see the opportunities that he has. Similarly to Fatu Melifonwu. So I think the first 2 picks the Lions made, very stellar, and I think that's why they were graded and reviewed very highly.
All right, Doc. I agree with you on that one. We talked about the first couple of picks, but I want to know, is there any later round pick, any of the 4 that intrigue you maybe more than the others?
Yeah, no doubt. Just a few minutes before I hopped on, we had at All Lions an exclusive interview with Makai Wingo, a great writer that I've developed a great relationship with, always gets the chance to talk to these prospects. And Makai Wingo has a lot of big goals, and he dropped the name. He said, I asked the writer, a couple questions that I would like asked, and Broder, you'll know which question came from me. But the thing that he said was, in response to a question about which player did you watch growing up, he said Aaron Donald. And look, we're not going to compare him early. We're not going to throw that kind of pressure on Makai Wingo. But I think that when everybody in town was talking about the Lions need an edge, well, look, you got a interior defensive tackle there that can do some things and can kick outside in certain sets, in certain matchups. So I think he's very intriguing because played SEC football, was a captain at LSU, and you see when you turn on the tape, a guy that's got a ferocious motor and can get to the quarterback from the interior. So to me, I'm intrigued by what he can do moving forward on this defensive line that wants to be violent and aggressive. With the talent that they have, they got a nice mix of young guys and some veterans there now on the defensive line.
Yeah, Doc, I'm fascinated to see that interview because Makai Wingo seems like a great kid or a great young man in his post-draft press conference. He's been coached up hard down there at LSU and actually at Missouri as well. I want to ask you, And I know you were talking about, everyone wanted an edge rusher, but you brought up Mekhi Wingo. They need pass rush, and they addressed some of that with Wingo. What about the round 4 picks? How do you feel about not just trading up, but trading up to get both Giovanni Manu and Sione Vaki?
Yeah, starting with the Vaki pick, I think everybody kind of had a feeling the Lions were quite interested, having been in a top 30 visit, knowing the Lions need at safety. He was in many mock drafts, so he came as no surprise to many people. And Brad Holmes, look, if he targets people that he feels are a fit, he has no problem trading up. I think he's very versatile, and early on, clearly I think his established role will be on special teams, could be the team's returner. You see a guy that impressed the Lions organization because of the fact that he did 4 separate pro day workouts and was near exhaustion but kept grinding through. That really caught the attention of Brad Holmes. And that's what the Lions like, is somebody that in a pinch could have a role on offense. Ben Johnson, like we talked about earlier, could find a lot of ways to get him the football. If you need to in a pinch, you could go back and play at safety. But I think early on, they went up and they found a guy, because the Lions truly, and Broder, everybody that pays attention to the Lions, they value special teams. They look for guys that are willing to do a job that not a lot of people want to do. It's not the most appealing situation when you're known as a special teamer. But, hey, if you relish that role, that gets you playing time. That gets you an opportunity to shine in football. At All Lions, I had a chance to talk to the coach, the University of British Columbia head football coach Blake Neal, about Giovanni Manu. He's the most intriguing pick when you see his size and stature. I can see the debate where people say, hey, why is Brad Holmes willing to take on projects? Well, we all like gamblers. And if you find a guy that starts with the athletic traits, it really is going to be intriguing to see, can you mold a raw football talent into a productive football player? And now the Lions got 2 developmental players on both sides of the football. You got Broderick Martin, who's expected to be a run stuffer along the defensive line, massive frame, but still raw, and he's going to need to take a step forward in 2024. Now you got Giovanni, who is 6'7", 350, and it could be a massive force on the right side, maybe even the right tackle of the future. So to me, Brad Holmes, look, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt and trust the scouting department that the guys that they're going to bring in are going to work in the system, develop, understand their role. And I can't wait to see how the developmental projects turn out. If you get one of them to shine, that'll be great. But I don't mind that they are aggressive and traded up for it. I think that people are a little bit sensitive to trading away capital. But Brad Holmes will find ways to get the picks he needs. And guys, always trust that if Brad Holmes targets a guy that he feels will come in and be a solid member of this locker room, you have no doubt he'll be a member of the Detroit Lions.
Hey, well said, John. And I want to ask you, because I think we all agree that the Lions, even when it comes to next year, got better during this draft, particularly at the outside corner position. Is there any team in the NFC North that you think improved so much that they could potentially be a threat to the Lions to win the 2024 NFC North division?
Yeah, oh man, it was asked of Brad Holmes in one of his post-draft media sessions, look, NFC North could become one of the toughest divisions in all of football. And he said, yeah, he acknowledged it, that, hey, they'll be ready, but it'll be a challenge. It'll be much tougher than probably even it was in 2023. And you look, first and foremost, Lions are the class of the division. And you know why? When you have QB1 and Jared Goff, the most experienced quarterback, has seen it all, got the moxie, probably the most popular sports figure in town. You got the best quarterback in the division, so that gives you a leg up. But these teams have responded. They're not just going to sit back and let the Lions run the division. Still, the Lions are the kings of the North heading into 2024, but you look at the Bears and Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, you see that offense, they're starting to build some things, but yes, I agree, they have a shitty offensive line that needs to be repaired and retooled still. So they're still a ways away, and they got a young, raw quarterback that needs to learn the NFL. I did a podcast with Eric Kramer, and he told me, he's like, look, if Caleb Williams coming into the league wants to have success and doesn't want to fall by the wayside, he's got to be able to manage the offense and take what's given to him, not always look to run. Because if Caleb Williams runs on the Lions, his career might end up short, might go the way of a Drew Bledsoe taken out on the sideline. You look at Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy. I like his moxie. I like the fact that he's been a winner and he's got all the mental tools to be successful. But again, young rookie quarterback, he's going to need to learn the ropes. So I don't see that for the Vikings in 2024. The team that you got to worry about the most, that's going to be right on the heels of the Lions and most competitive, is the Packers. You see the offense with Jordan Love. You see the manner in which Coach LaFleur runs his team. They had a decent draft. So they'll be right there neck and neck with the Lions. But when you see the upgrades the Lions made on defense when they already had a solid offense, and guys, the anticipation that I have, I hope it comes through this screen. The second-year jump of Brian Branch, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs. You got Jamison Williams, who's going to emerge and hopefully get a lot more targets. You got Ben Johnson running an amazing offense. The number of players that, even though if we just talk about the players that were already on the roster getting better, my goodness, this team should be the favorites, and I expect them to again in 2024. When all the dust settles, the Lions will be the division winners, but it's going to be a grind. It's going to be a challenge.
And you know what, Doc, just kind of moving outside of the NFC North as well, Bleacher Report, post-draft, and their power rankings had the Detroit Lions ranked 3rd behind the Kansas City Chiefs, the 49ers, ahead of teams like the Texans and the Ravens. Where do you sit as it relates to the Detroit Lions and where you see them in this kind of NFL pecking order?
Well, Mr. Kool-Aid, I'm going to need you to be a little more loyal to the company I'm part of. Sports Illustrated has the Lions number 2.
Number 2?
In the NFL.
You know what?
So
let's go. You got flannel scratching his head right now.
I can't go against them. Look. In the end, do I think the Lions right now are the second best team in the NFL? Probably not, but let's just say firmly in the top 5. I think they had a great draft, improved on defense. Guys, again, my excitement level for one game, and in a couple of weeks, the schedule is going to come out. The one game I'm excited to see and probably got to figure out a way to get to is the Lions and the Texans.
Yep.
Because their off seasons are a little bit different. The Texans went out and got some names to upgrade their defense to complement what they had. Whereas the Lions, they did upgrade and get some solid upgrades at defense, but they didn't go out and get the highest ranked guys at their positions in free agency. So it's an opposing way of building, whereas many people think the Texans kind of made that all-in push that I would have liked to have seen. So now Brad Holmes, his plan, which is still a good plan, even though some may look at it differently, I want to see those two. I put an article out a couple weeks ago. The Super Bowl I want to see is the Lions and the Texans, because those two visions of rebuilds are opposing and they would clash, and we could finally see, all right, which rebuild, the draft and develop model or the, develop young talent and then add some very high-priced free agents. How does that look when they match up? I can't wait for that game. I love what the Texans did this offseason as well as what the Lions did. But look, guys, the Lions, all throughout the end of last year and through the start of the first 4 months of 2024, all the power rankings that have come out, the Lions have been a top 5 team. They're respected nationally. You saw the way in which people responded to the draft, 750,000 people. I got to go down there and be part of that vibe. It was special. It was amazing. And the Lions football team are also a big part of the resurgence of Detroit in regards to the city, the perception, and the way in which the city, the team embodies the way in which the city is. It's amazing. And Brad Holmes has kind of taken that me against the world mentality with all the theme shirts he's wearing. I don't think it's so much against the media. It's, I think, against the world saying, hey, I was a first-time GM. Nobody thought I could handle this. People questioned what I was doing. And I think pretty soon that they got to get a nice number for Brad Holmes, start wearing a Brad Holmes jersey as well, because he's been the architect of a football team that made some great jumps, and he deserves a lot of credit, and he deserves to puff his chest out. He's made some good moves, and I think this draft, again, will set the stage for the future of this team with depth at cornerback and offensive line.
You know, that would be dope. If the Lions actually win a Super Bowl underneath this regime, you know what? Give me a series of jerseys with Spillman's name on the back, Hamp on the back, Holmes on the back, and Campbell on the back. You know what? Let's put Disner in there as well. I would surely buy that set and display that proudly in the Detroit Kool-Aid Man cave. I definitely would.
And would.
Huh?
Would.
Oh, Rod Wood too.
Yeah, or
Hey.
just Wood.
Or just Wood. Just Wood. I see what you did there, brother. JB's losing it. But Doc, man, thank you as always. Any last words from the crew?
Hey, always a pleasure to have you on, Doc. Always.
Always, man. Thank you. It's awesome every single time.
Yes, guys. Thank you guys so much. It's been a great time. Man, rookie minicamp is right around the corner. Check in with All Lions and Detroit Sports Podcast for inside knowledge. And thank you guys for having me.
I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
get
kidding,
amped up
Doc.
in the morning to talk to the fellas. It's a good time.
As
the man.
always, man, you guys heard it there. Publisher of All Lions on the Sports Illustrated platform, as well as host of the Detroit Sports Podcast. And overall, just a great person, Doc. We appreciate you giving us your time this day.
Yeah, let's go. And it's going to be a good time to see these rookies next week. Let's go, fellas.
Let's go. It's awesome as always. And I can tell you guys about something else that is awesome too. That is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Just stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. That is Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today?
Let's have a look, man.
I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake.
Hey.
Figer Law. All we do is win.
All we do is win.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Visit Dispo Dispensary today for deals too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Nah, bro, I'm just another guy. What's up, bro? What up, Brad? Nah. I appreciate that, man. I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored, bro. I'm honored. So much. I'm honored. I'm honored. Man, congratulations, man. Yeah, I appreciate you. Love you, man. Love you. Yeah, congrats, man. Thank you. Yeah. What's good? Y'all didn't have to do all this. Hey, this man. Love. Hey, man, hey, this is the original foundation, man. Thank you. Started this thing, man. So much love, man. It's home. Congrats, man. You're right. Home. Absolutely, man. I'm honored, bro. Thank you. All right, bro. Congrats. You see it. This is special now. I go ahead. Brad, love you, man. Appreciate it. All right, love you too, bro.
Shout out to Brad for this one. That's my guy. He blessed me with the lays right before I got in here, and that right there goes a long way to me. just those little gestures of him trying to understand where I'm from and understand the culture, and knows how much it's meant to me. And just for him to kind of wrap his arms around me and just kind of showing love, it means a lot. And it goes back to draft day, the way they all reacted. And I'll never forget that. And that's something that will always stay with me in my heart and my mind and everything I do. And I give my heart and soul to this team, to this organization, and to the city.
Yo, what up, though? People, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Where do we sign up to be able to get that type of treatment as well? My goodness, bro, I would love to be able to run through any brick wall for Brad Holmes. That is epic. Have y'all seen that before? That's my first time seeing that.
I mean, we could start with being the best offensive lineman in the NFL. If I suddenly transformed into that, I'm sure I'd get that kind of treatment too. But I'm glad that Penei Sewell gets it because he has earned it.
Yeah, I just had to play that video for you guys just because I seen it, and it is officially Asian America and Pacific Islander Month. So that was Brad Holmes' way of kind of honoring Penei Sewell.
Shout out.
That's what's up. Shout out. Thank you for telling me that, man. Like, my family's Asian. I gotta do something for my wife.
Let's go.
I didn't even know.
Then I'll hold off on the jokes about getting laid, but yes, the irony that we have Skinny Butcher on the back wall right now, and we have this monster of a Butcher signed for the next 5 years.
Absolutely,
it's epic, man. Hey, thanks for sharing that, JB. That's dope. It's cool to be able to see the relationship between Brad Holmes and these players. When you talk about some of the players around the league that wanted to play here, all of the different rookies or prospects that we heard using those code words that we hear the Detroit Lions use, or just flat out saying grit, flat out saying, yeah, I would love to play in Detroit. Yeah, they effort me. I effort them too. It's epic. And now when you get to see those types of things, you see why.
And how many more players, prospects, are we going to see, like, unprovoked call this place home? Like, Penei Sewell says, I'm home. Terrion Arnold, when he was up on the stage getting announced, is like, Detroit, I'm home. Like, there's something different when you can call your job home, especially a football team. There's something special going on here in this city, down in Allen Park and inside those walls.
People come here and they fall in love with what Michigan is. Obviously, our state is a beautiful state, but the people, man, it's the people that make this a beautiful place to be. When I got married, I was when I first met my wife, we were in Maryland when I was playing college ball. She moved up there to do our masters and everything. Then we moved down after we got married to North Carolina. And there's some beautiful places around the world. North Carolina is a beautiful spot. So was Maryland and D.C., the DMV area. But I kept telling her, we got to get home. I got to get back home. I'm telling you, you'll love it. She was like, but it's cold. I said, it doesn't matter. Michigan is a place that just is a good time. It doesn't matter the season. And we've been here for some time and 3 or 4 babies. I love Michigan.
3 or 4,
Man, my youngest was 3 months old, born in North Carolina when we moved up here. So I'm just like,
I get it. And you're talking about good people like Greg Alspaw, who's always in here supporting $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Greg. You're always spreading that positivity. Like this Lions team around this city. I'm excited. They got some quality prospects coming in too.
Man, Brad has gone and taken Detroit versus everybody, and now has also made it Lions versus everybody as well. And one of those new Lions, Sione Vaki. Is that how we pronounce his name? Sione Vaki?
Honestly, I've heard 10 different ways of pronouncing it. I thought it was Sione Vaki. I've heard you call it Vaki, Sione Vaki. I think the last name is Vaki, so maybe we just go with that.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'll call him Vaki.
Yeah, just call him Vaki.
Just call him Vaki?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm looking forward to this. I know a lot of people have questions about what is he going to be on the football field. A safety, a running back, versatility all over the field, which we already know. That is one of those traits or characteristics that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have looked for. And I just want to read this quote real quick before I throw it over to you, Mr. Matthew Broder. This is from Brad Holmes. He said, I don't think I've ever seen a player do a 4-position workout at one pro day. That's the type of kid he is. We're excited to get to work with him. And that is Brad Holmes on, as we call him, Vaki.
Yeah.
That is big praise. In 4 positions? Like, I know we hear safety and we hear running back. He did 4-position workout?
Yeah. It's wild. He can do it all. Like, his football IQ was so high, and he's still relatively new to the game, and much, not even relatively, he's new to playing offense. Like, this wasn't on his career trajectory. Utah had a ton of injuries to their running back position, and they had to ask him a few games in, like, hey, man, like, can you suit up and play some running back? And in that first game as a running back, 15 carries, 158 yards, and 2 tutties. He ended up finishing the season with 42 carries, 317 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 catches, 203 yards, 3 touchdowns. So he's a football player. What attracted them the most, or not the most, what attracted them first is his ability to play special teams. That's that football character, that FBI. They thought he was one of the best, if not the best special teams player in the draft. So having that foundation, that base, the floor in terms of the Lions and Brett Holmes and what they think of what they got in a 4th-round pick, the floor is high to them. The floor is a special teams contributor, and that's it. That's something they value regardless. Now we factor in the fact that he can play running back, which it seems like is going to be his primary position, or maybe I should say on the offensive side of the ball, whether it's running back, out of the slot. He's going to be doing some creative things in that Ben Johnson offense that we were talking about earlier. So I think that the floor being so stable, they know he's going to come in and contribute to special teams. They can bring him along at running back. Brad Holmes says he's going to major in running back now. Really, the sky's the limit. I have no idea what to project with this kid.
This is a tough one for me to kind of evaluate as well. Let me get this out of the way so you guys can throw your slings and arrows really, really quick. The fact that he played both offense and defense in college, to me, that almost is something that I'm a little have a little cause for pause about. Just because I don't know really what he's going to be in the NFL. I actually, when I evaluated him, when I watched some games and some tape and everything and just looked at some numbers, I would prefer if he was a safety. Me personally, obviously, I don't know nearly as much about, player development or coaching or anything as the Lions coaching staff and Brad Holmes and all that. But to me, I look at a safety as a potential need in a year or two, depending on what they want to do with Iffy or Kirby and the likes. But one thing about Sione Vaki that impressed me right away, and you alluded to it, Broder, the quote on the back is that Sione Vaki, more than anybody I think that was drafted for this team, and I kind of mentioned this on Big D Energy on Monday, exemplifies what being a Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes guy is. You saw him do all of those workouts at a pro day to the point where he was exhausted. We saw last season, you mentioned the running backs getting hurt. Utah also played the entire season without their star quarterback, Cam Rising. So they basically were decimated at running back. They were playing backup quarterbacks, and they needed someone to step up. And we all know that players who play that volume at both ways in college, they just don't exist anymore. It requires a level of a football IQ and stamina, which most humans out there and most even college football players certainly don't have, and that goes without saying the ability as well. Sione Vaki was able to do that. You mentioned the numbers he put up as a running back. Running back, averaged more than 7 yards per carry. As a receiver, averaged more than 18 yards per catch, had 5 total touchdowns. And even with the offensive output, how great he was, I personally believe that it affected his defense a little bit. Because how could it not? When you're that tired, when you're playing both ways, when you have that much responsibility, it's gonna wear on you a little bit. You saw it do the same thing, I believe, with Travis Hunter for Colorado last year, but that's neither here nor there. But even despite all of that, Sione Vaki was pretty good in coverage last year as a safety as well. 88 passer rating allowed, only 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The 88 passer rating allowed is actually better than Ennis Rakestraw's, although it was different positions. And the versatility on defense, he played 131 snaps in the slot, 175 as a box safety, and 318 as a deep free safety type. I think if he plays defense, he projects more to be a strong safety, but that's just my personal opinion. With me, it's intriguing that he's so versatile, but it also scares me a tad because I really honestly don't know what we're getting out of him. You said special teams? Sure. I think he'll probably be a special team starter on day one. Everything else, though, I'm worried that he's not really a master of anything and more of a jack of all trades. I know that sounds kind of cliche and all of that, but when I saw the pick, I'm like, okay, we got a safety. And then it's like, he's going to play running back? We've got Montgomery locked up for a couple more years. Gibbs on a rookie contract. Craig Reynolds just signed. Only 1 ball. I guess I'm being a little long-winded and rambly, but that's just, it speaks to what, it speaks to what Sione Vaki could be or what he could not be. Players who play this volume at both ways in college just don't exist. He's closer to Travis Hunter than he is to even Jabril Peppers.
Interesting.
He played a lot of both ways.
Yep.
We'll see.
And you know what? Ginger Nation, he just put a comment in the chat. that I was actually thinking. I was going to ask this question as well. He said, with the new kickoff rule, does Vaki as a special team star become more valuable as a kick returner? I think on both sides of this thing, with the new kickoff rules, you're going to need players, based on the highlights that Broder showed us, that have the type of speed and space that Vaki does. It helps them both on both sides of the ball, and I think it will help them with special teams as well. The new kickoff rules give it an opportunity for the kick returner to really get and find those lanes and those gaps. And Vaki, at least on running plays, seemed to be one of those players that, yeah, look, when we're in the flat, you're not shaking me. I make sure fire tackles. And then when you talk about the other way around, if you're trying to preserve some of your wide receivers, especially if there's some injury concern or whatnot, Vaki could be a potential to maybe return some punts as well.
Well, and you mentioned the new kickoff rules because everybody thinks that I hate special teams, which is false, by the way. But in previous seasons, after they moved the kickoff up, if you're on kickoff or kickoff return, a lot of times what you've been doing in previous years is run down the field and watch it go out the back of the end zone. Or if you're on kickoff return, run back, get set up to block. Oh, it went out of the back of the end zone. Those days are over now. So being a special teams contributor, I don't know. Did that play a role in Brad Holmes drafting Sione Vaki, knowing the new kickoff or kickoff return rules? I'm not saying it for sure did, but Brad Holmes is the type of GM to cross all of those T's and dot all of those I's and just make sure, given the fact that he liked this player, how can I maximize him? How can he contribute in the most ways possible? And I think that did play a role in them drafting Sione Vaki. I don't know that for sure. It's just me observing as an outsider.
Yeah, which is something that all of us can do. Obviously, his film is there. We're going to try and make the best leaps that we can with the Vaki. But you said something interesting to me, Flannel. You called him a jack of all trades, master of none. We've seen, and I actually respect that because we don't know what he's going to do. But we've seen varying degrees of jacks of all trade. We've seen the utility man that we're just like, get him off my team and out of my city. And then we've seen some of the ones that get celebrated and heralded as well. Which side of this thing do you believe Vaki is going to be on? Do you believe he's one of those jack of all trades, but he will be one of those guys that kind of makes an impact? You know what? Let's play it this way. We got Malcolm Rodriguez, who's one of those guys right now. Do you believe that Vaki has opportunity or will be better at that jack of all trades than like a Malcolm Rodriguez, kind of the same, or is still to be seen?
I think it'll be better than Malcolm Rodriguez because,
surprise.
But also, and spoiler alert, so everybody can throw slings and arrows at me again. I don't value Malcolm Rodriguez as much as most. Malcolm Rodriguez played 23 snaps at fullback, and everybody act like he was Kyle Juszczyk. But that's neither here nor there. No, Sione Vaki, as an offensive player, has an upside that Malcolm Rodriguez couldn't even sniff. And we would all agree with that, and that's not hate whatsoever. Sione Vaki was a major contributor at Utah on offense. We saw on a per-touch basis, 7 yards a carry and 18 yards a catch. That's absolutely unbelievable. Defensively, though, it kind of seems like from everything we've heard coming out of the Lions that he's going to be more of that running back type and special teams guy. So I don't know if he ever will contribute on defense the way that Malcolm Rodriguez did in his rookie year. And as special teams go, hey, they both have an opportunity to maybe get a little bit more, I would say, value given the new kickoff rules.
Yeah, JB, what up, though, brother?
No, I was just going to say, Vaki, running back, wide receiver, safety, corner, left tackle, right tackle, center, assistant coach.
He's the ultimate depth piece.
I know. He's the ultimate depth piece. That's why I really like this guy. Like, you don't truly know what you're going to get out of him. As Sam said, he's like a master of none. He's just good in all these different areas. And honestly, I feel like he kind of represents us here on the morning show just because we wear so many hats and we're so versatile all over the place. So he's kind of like our player for the Lions right now. And I don't know, I'm just rooting for the guy.
Talk dirty,
I like
to
that.
me, JB.
Talk very dirty, man.
Dude, that's actually a perfect transition because I know you're so modest you won't put it up. But Silky Johnson said, JB the GOAT.
Oh yeah,
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Silky Johnson.
Yes, and real quick before I pass it back to you, Randy Smalls, Randy says, thank you guys for giving us a home. Love ya. He posted that a couple minutes ago. So shout out to you guys in the
Thank
chat.
you guys.
And I'll pass it back with this Vaki comment. He might be a master of none now, and I don't have a problem with you saying that. The excitement is that we don't know how good he could be, what he could be a master of. I think that's what Brad Holmes was alluding to. If he majors in the running back room, gets to learn from Scotty Montgomery, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Craig Reynolds, like who knows how good he could be. Maybe it's nothing, but Brad seems to think there's something there.
Yep. You know what? I just got one question. Flannel, maybe you can help me out with this. Can he play linebacker?
Yeah.
I think he's too small for linebacker. I'll tell you what, though. If he were, I believe personally, if he were to play safety, he projects as a strong safety type, as maybe kind of a box safety, which is more akin to a linebacker than most other positions. And me personally, and again, you don't have to listen to me because I'm not on the coaching staff. I'm not Brad Holmes. I am more intrigued by his upside as a safety than as a running back. That's just me, given what the Lions could potentially need in the very near future. But we'll see. He did make a lot of huge plays at Utah. That's undeniable. Every time he touched the ball, something electric happened, at least more so than most other players. I'll give you that.
Well, you know what, man? I'm glad we had this review of, I guess, Sione, whatever
Vaki.
you call him, Vaki.
We need a nickname. We need a T-shirt. We need a little.
Vaki.
We need a Woodward sport. A wake up Woodward slogan. I forget who just said in the chat. We gotta merchandise this.
We have to, and then we have to give it away on the show as well.
Yeah,
we have to. Hey, you guys in the chat, definitely put in the comments, put in the chat, what you think Vaki's nickname should be. Let's do this. Let's do this. Maybe we can get this thing pitched, get it up on some merch. Whoever comes with the best name. We can find a way to incentivize them a little bit.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool. Rocky Vaki, Vok Dog. Yo, I'm already seeing some cool ones in there, man. The knife, the Swiss.
Hey.
You know what?
Swiss.
Perfect.
Speaking of Swiss.
Did that just transition
that's
for
a
you?
perfect transition. Shout out to Herb Nash.
Hey, shout out.
Good job. Hey, you guys are getting elite with these transitions as well. Glad we had this review of Sione Vaki. Now I have to tell you about something else dealing with the review. It's now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That is 313-530-1698. Or visit them online at swissins.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, you guys, you're tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports merch? Well, let me tell you right now, it is a new era in sports wearables with new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Look, go to woodwardsports.com, click on the shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week, but you know we always have the Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell election t-shirts, hoodies, hats. You got the Welcome to Detroit sign, and I also have to show you guys this one. This just came out because, you know, we set the world record at the NFL draft. So go out, get a couple of these, wear them around town, support, and show that we made history. Go to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. You know the season's starting pretty soon, baby.
I don't really have anything to wish to tell them, but if I did tell them something, it'd just be keep doing you, keep being who you are. Everything else will figure it out.
I would say, as you now grown up, just never forget. and you won't, but just never forget the people and the journey. Just remember that feeling when you got the call, what it felt like, how nervous you was, and everybody around you. Yeah, that one hit home right there. That's, wow. I like that. I still never forget. So, yeah, it's crazy.
What up, though, people? We got the best offensive lineman in the league locked up for a very long time in Detroit. Shout out to Penei Sewell.
Shout out.
Shout out to JB the GOAT, man. It's cool seeing these things this morning, especially about our Detroit Lions. And it's not just we get to be like super glued in on the player because the team sucks, but it's the best of both worlds. The team is rising. The players are awesome. And it's just the perfect synergy right now. Shout out to our Detroit Lions. I'm like, yo, start the season tomorrow. Start the season tomorrow. But then Mr. Broder's gonna be doing double duty all over again.
Oh yeah, Broder's about to be busy.
Hey, we just talked about Vaki. We go play both sides of the ball. Whatever you need.
Let's go.
Hey, whatever
let's
you need
go.
for Vaki Valancourt from Hoof Hearted.
I like that.
That one.
Shout out to
JZJ Tuvok or like Tupac. Oh man, I saw Flying V up here somewhere who had that. There's some good ones you guys got in here.
There are some good ones. And shout out to Eric Burrow as well. People, you guys are the most important part of this platform. Like Eric Burrow says, smash that like it's prom night. Smash that like button. Go on ahead. Once you've done so, encourage somebody else to do the same. There are really some good Vaki ones in here. Dr. Vaki, vibing with Vaki. Let me see. Dr. Vaki, that's from Chef's Talk. Vaki the Chameleon from Eric Allen. Xavier D, Vaki, hole filler.
Did you say hole filler?
Hole filler?
What do you think about that one, brother? I need your expert
I don't want
opinion.
anything to do with answering that question. How about
now
Tom
you don't want to
Vacula?
answer it.
No. I pick and choose when I get dirty-minded.
Well, you know what? This is a perfect segue because it's now time for Peaks and Cheeks.
Yeah.
You guys already know what mine this segment came from.
What?
Peaks and Cheeks. What thought about this segment?
Explain it, Kool-Aid. Explain it, Brandon. How about this one? Victoria's Secret from Hoof Hearted. You're on one today. Hoof Hearted. You are a dog. So
Victoria's Secret. I like that one.
This is Peaks and Cheeks. So basically, it's our version of buy or sell. I'm going to pose a scenario for you guys or a statement, and I need the crew and the chat to give me your answer. Is it peaks? Are you buying? Are they trending upwards? Or is it cheeks? You selling? They're going the other way. They're going down south.
Like flat cheek.
Yeah, like below the belt. That way. So we're start. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with Sione Vaki. My question for you, peaks or cheeks? Lions running back Sione Vaki will score 2 touchdowns in his rookie season.
Ooh.
You know what?
I'm going to put some music on.
I'm going to go big peaks on that. We saw running backs last year score by accident. Shout out to Netflix, Craig Reynolds. We've seen guys like, Malcolm Rodriguez. Didn't he score one?
No.
No, he didn't score one?
He didn't. No.
Okay. I'm gonna go peaks.
You going over 2?
I'm gonna go over 2.
Or we'll score 2 or more.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
I'm going to go cheeks. There's so much offensive depth on the side of the ball, particularly the running back room. You've got guys like Jamison Williams who you want to get more involved. Obviously, Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta might both get 100-plus catches. We shall see. Both of them will probably get at least 85. That's one of the things that confused me a little bit about Sione Vaki being kind of sold or chosen to be more of a running back, because I just don't know if it's going to be a need this year. Obviously, there's a lot of attrition when it comes to running backs. They get hit every single play. Injuries happen. Hell, they happened with both Montgomery and Gibbs last year. But as a rookie, I don't think he's going to be a major contributor offensively. If he were to get him, it would be special teams, but kickoff return touchdowns are just so rare. So they might be less rare with the new rules, but I think he will score 1 touchdown this year. So give me cheeks.
I'm actually going peaks on this one. Given the new kickoff rule and just the mind that Ben Johnson has, I think somehow, some way, he's going to scheme up something for Vaki, and it'll just be something completely different that no one is even thinking about. So give me peaks on this one. At least 2 touchdowns.
I like it. I'm going the conservative route. I'm going to go cheeks. I think he's going to score a touchdown. It's so hard to predict how he's going to be used in this offense, whether at running back or out of the slot, catching the ball out of the backfield. So I'm going to go Cheeks with 1, but again, we don't know what he could be.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of peaks.
Because I do wonder as well if he's going to be one of those guys used on 4th down calls, especially like fake punts and things of that nature, which we've seen. Dan Campbell, he's been prone to kind of make those decisions. It's going to be interesting to see, though.
Hey, Ed O'Neill, Goff got a rushing touchdown. Anything is possible with this O-line.
That's fair.
Facts. Tim G, Sam Flannel is a wet blanket.
Is Broder a wet blanket as well because he said Cheeks?
Agree.
Probably
Exactly.
not. Probably not, but that's all well and good. No bias from you whatsoever. Go on.
I think LFG said less than 2 touchdowns scored Cheeks. I'm Elite says Dub Vaki. I see Peaky out of Just a Fan under LFG. You already said that. Peaks for Chuck E. Cheese. So we got about 50-50. But
even Matthew Kruger said Peaks 100.
Oh, let's go,
wow.
Krugs.
Shout out to Matthew Kruger.
Yeah. Shout out to Jared Goff, too, Kruger. We were having a little battle last night. Love you, Matthew Kruger. All right, next one. Lions wide receiver Antoine Green will have 17 or more receptions in the 2024 season. That's a reception a game on average before they move to 18 games, not including the playoffs.
I'm gonna go Cheeks on that one.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to go Cheeks as well. And this is another thing that people are probably going to say I'm being a hater for, but I personally think that it's much more likely that Antoine Green becomes a nothing burger on this franchise moving forward than a contributor. And it's a 7th round pick. It happens. I'm going to call him Antoine Lucas or Chase Green, if you kind of get what I'm doing. I'm just saying because Chase Lucas was one of those 7th round. He's a 7th round pick. And I'm saying that he's gonna not be a Pro Bowler, so I'm a hater now apparently. But no, Cheeks.
I agree with
17's nothing to sneeze at. Donovan Peoples-Jones didn't have that last year, and both teams combined.
Yeah,
and that's the problem right there. So that's why I think I'm going Cheeks on this one, just because you have Donovan Peoples-Jones, you brought him back, and I kind of see
Khalif
more.
Raymond on the way back.
Huh?
Khalif Raymond.
Yep.
Oh, Khalif Raymond on the way back as well too. And I believe just more in them and. Hell, even TK85. I'm sorry, but
bro,
I don't think I don't think Green is gonna get those 17.
Eric Allen said in 9 games last year, Green had 1 catch on 2 targets. And what we know out of Jared Goff is, it looks like he throws the ball to people that he has a chemistry with and that he is comfortable with. We didn't see the chemistry with DPJ last year. We expect a little bit more in this upcoming season because of the chemistry they're going to be able to have, but Antoine Green is not a guy that I've kind of seen Jared Goff really have that type of.
Let's not forget. It takes a while for receivers, like you said, to gain the trust of Jared Goff, to learn the offense. He was a rookie, and he was on that active roster, if I'm not mistaken, all 17 games, or at least the majority of the season, which tells me they believe in him. And I'm going to say Peaks, not with any background information. This is total speculation from my part. The fact that they didn't replace a wide receiver, I do think Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to get more targets. I think J-Mo is going to get more targets. They're going to spread the ball around a little bit more, so it might be a stretch, but I see him in the 20 to 25 reception area. But there is primarily Cheeks in here. I see a lot of Cheeks. Pause. Made Cheeks. Rando Smalls Cheeks. Aaron Allen, he goes, ooh, Cheeks. And I don't know if that's how he made it sound, but that's what I interpreted. So a lot of Cheeks in there.
That's a drop. I see a lot of Cheeks in here.
That is a drop.
We'll do one more before we get to break, and we got a couple more when we come back.
Oh, yeah.
Passing it over to the baseball team down in Comerica. The Tigers will have 3 or more All-Stars this season.
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun. I can name 2 right now that I think. Do I know any more?
Please don't say El Mago.
I will never say El Mago.
Man, I keep thinking of just 2.
Peaks or Cheeks?
I gotta go Cheeks.
Okay.
I can see 2.
I'm gonna go Peaks.
Peaks.
Tarek Skubal, Jason Foley, Riley Green, and with the potential of another bullpen guy. I actually predict that the Tigers will have 4.
Let's go. Peaks or Cheeks, JBZ?
Wow, let's rock.
4. Wow. I'm going Cheeks on this one. I can see 2, definitely Skubal and probably Green for me, but I don't think it's pushing more than 2. Sorry.
I'm going Peaks. I'm going.
go.
At this very moment, it would be egregious to leave Riley Green, Jason Foley, and Tarek Skubal off. I have a feeling if one of these pitchers, if Jack Flaherty keeps pitching well, who knows how good Mize is going to keep going. There's probably not another offensive player, but we never know like how good of a stretch is Shelby Miller going to have for the next 2 months. But I think those three, if it were today, I think they'd be a lock. So fair. I'm going Peaks.
That's fair.
I'm going Peaks. I see Dante 151 Peaks, DMAP Zoom Peaks, Vincent Ellison Peaks. Peaks for sure. Zebediah Roberts. Tim G. Not likely, so I think you mean Cheeks. Just a fan. Cheeks.
Do you see Mitten Made?
Mitten Made. Cherokee's Cheeks. Am I missing something? I don't get it.
We might need to culturize this.
Let's hear it. Cherokee Cheeks. Is this an OnlyFans reference or is this a race thing?
We got to culture this one. We'll save it. We'll save it.
All right, save it for the right back. Let's take a quick break. Come back. I got a few more questions for you.
Oh, jeez, where we going here, man?
Les Stanford, yes.
Let's rock.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday.
What up, dog? People, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys choosing to kick off your morning with the crew. We got 4 to 5 here. Shout out to KG as well. I know he'll be back on the show, I think tomorrow. Got what, like, would you rather segment?
Oh yeah, would you rather?
Let's go. These segments are always fire. Right now we're in the middle of Peaks or Cheeks. Chat family, go ahead and smash that like button and continue to participate, as well as get your mailbag questions ready. Also, let's kick this thing back into gear.
Let's do it. The Tigers, Riley Green, will lead the American League in walks. Peaks or Cheeks?
I am. Oh, no, you go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Riley Green. I'm gonna go Cheeks. I don't mean to be so down on my Tigers, but
No, believe it or not, I'm gonna go Cheeks as well, because I think he will. I think one person who has the greatest strike zone discipline that I think I've ever seen on a baseball player, and I'm not kidding, will lead the AL in walks. Juan Soto. Riley Green will be up there, but Juan Soto will lead the American League in walks, because look at what he does almost every single year. Has an on-base percentage in the 400s, is up there constantly. Give me Juan Soto, but Riley Green in the top 5 in the American League in walks.
I'm going to go with Cheeks on this one. Love you, Green, but man, it's not happening. I'm sorry.
Sam, you called exactly why I was thinking I had to put AL in there. Juan Soto was the one that's preventing me from going Peaks.
Yep.
What he has that Riley Green doesn't have is the respect. Although Riley Green's building it up, there's that respect of what Juan Soto can do with the bat. So they're going to pitch around him more. Riley Green's plate discipline has been incredible. I put a lot of that on Mark Canha, not giving him all the credit, but like that extra development of Riley Green's approach, I think is huge. But man, Juan Soto on the Yankees, we're going to get to see him up close and personal.
He's the modern day Ted Williams. I know that's a little bit of a bold statement, but Juan Soto to me is maybe the best hitter I've ever seen, the best offensive player I've ever seen, and I'm not kidding, by the way.
If putting a sound effect in didn't shut the music off, I would hit that air horn or the drop mic or something, because that's quite a statement.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I see Rando Small's cheeks. Shad Peaks. Woody Ward. Hey there. He gave me his little wave. I love it. I love it. So, next one. How about this team? The Pistons. The Pistons will make a top 5 selection in the 2024 NBA draft.
They better not.
Look, I do not want them to. I don't want them to, but the closer we get to the draft, the more likely it seems they actually might make a pick. If they do make a pick, then I think you can guarantee a couple young players are going to be traded. But for what I want them to do, Cheeks, trade the pick. Don't pick with that first overall. Do I want them to be able to kind of trade back into the first round and get some of those depth pieces for more controllable and cheaper contracts? Yes, I do, but I'm going to go Cheeks on this one.
I'm going to go Cheeks. You never know with drafts how they turn out, but in terms of hype, in terms of perceived franchise-changing players, the draft looks like it's going to be one of the weaker ones of this century, honestly. And given what...
of the century.
Since 2000. Since 2000.
I love it.
Since 2000. And given what the Pistons need to do,
century.
I think that draft pick, depending on how high it is, will be packaged in a trade package to get a proven player. So give me Cheeks.
I'm going Cheeks as well with this one. You better not be picking in that top 5. I'm dead serious. If you get a high lottery pick like that, package that up with another player, ship it off. Bring in a superstar, please, for the love of God. Come on.
Cheeks, you got to trade it. You got to trade it. Or just pick Brownie at number 1. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not seeing a lot of answers in here, but I think everyone probably agrees. Pistons, Peaks. Peaks! LFG. Chuck E. Cheese says he'll quit watching if they pick in the top 5. Hey, the Pistons are captivating? Polarizing? What about this? I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Jaden Ivey will start for the Pistons on opening night of the 24-25 season. Peaks or Cheeks, so buy or sell.
I want him to. I don't know if he's going to. When you talk about some of these assets that are probably more ready to be traded based on where the Pistons are right now, that's a possibility. When you look at the Monty Williams of it all and the types of players that we know he likes, especially in his backcourt, it just makes me uncomfortable to be able to say Peaks. I like Jaden Ivey, but based on the current situation surrounding the Detroit Pistons organization, I have to say Cheeks.
Cheeks. 100% Cheeks, and I hope that it's Cheeks. I hope that he's a guy that is traded for, along with a pick, along with maybe another player, or whatever combination that there is to get a more proven player, somebody who fits better with Cade Cunningham. I think they're both, to be successful, they both need the ball in their hands. And Cade Cunningham, to me, in terms of being that leader, that ball handler, that distributor, that true point guard, has a much higher upside and is a much better player than Jaden Ivey. The way that I watched him shoot the ball last year down the stretch almost got me to the point where I'm out on him. So, Cheeks.
Oh, this is Cheeks for me as well, too. Ivy, you're my guy and all, but he gone. Package him up whatever this top 5 pick you're going to get and, bring in the superstar. So, sorry, Ivy, but you're not making it.
I think Flannel said it best as well. It's going to take a couple young players and that draft pick for the Pistons to get something serious in return.
Sure. 100%.
What if you could pull off a lineup like Shad just put in here in the chat? Cade, Ivy, Devin Booker, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. Lock it in, he says. Is that possible without trading Jaden Ivey?
I don't think it's possible. The Phoenix Suns are going to be looking to get more than just a top draft pick in this draft. They're going to probably be looking for capital that's going years down the line, as well as getting a couple young players that they can start their rebuild around two of those young players, and Ivy and Duran, are the pieces I think that they're going to be looking at primarily if you're talking about making a trade with the Detroit Pistons. So as cool as it could be, and I don't know about the defense on this squad, it can't happen without, in my opinion, giving up two of those players that he has in that starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, I would. It's intriguing, but I just don't see how it's possible. But yeah, if we could get that lineup, I would take it for sure.
Silky Johnson. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, in theory, yeah, this would be amazing, but Devin Booker's camp has already came out and said that he wants to stay with one franchise and one franchise only. So I don't know what it's going to take for him to realize that, hey, Phoenix might not be your top spot and you need to go somewhere else. But
I think he's just softening up the Phoenix Suns fans, because we've already seen reports of him wanting to be in New York, or New York wanting to go all out to get him. And we've also seen Devin Booker, all he does is support Detroit. He goes on national podcasts and talks about the Pistons are his favorite team, were his childhood team growing up. His favorite player is Richard Hamilton. You can't convince me that if there was a path for Devin Booker to be a Detroit Piston, that he would turn that down.
Well, and also, look what the Phoenix Suns aren't winning anything. This was a failed super team, and if there's anything to kind of give you that come to Jesus moment where you're like, man, this Suns team, I'm not going to win anything, it would be a season like what they just experienced. And now, given the fact that we have more hope, I think, as Pistons fans, that Devin Booker is a possibility, whether it be real hope or not, I'm not concerned with that right now, makes me all the more happy that the Suns got swept in the first round.
Detroit Arrow says, bring him home. Bring him home. RJ Graham says, be aggressive, be aggressive. Drive the line into every player. The refs call every slap on the wrist. And the last one I saw, Silky Johnson. He's worried we trade Ivy and he becomes an all-star like Chris Middleton. That would be sad.
That's a fear.
Yeah. That is
one.
All right, my last question, I'm going to direct it to Flannel first. Last one of Peaks and Cheeks. Tampa Bay Lightning captain Steven Stamkos will be a Red Wing next season. Peaks or Cheeks?
Peaks.
Oh! Hey! Let's go. That just influenced my answer.
Is there a little bit of wishful thinking? Certainly. But
Devin Booker and Stamkos in Detroit next year. Y'all heard it here first.
That's another team in the Tampa Bay Lightning that are getting a little, I would say, I mean, it's hard to say because their oldest one is a Steven Stamkos, but maybe their championship window isn't quite as open. They may have won their cups, and Steven Stamkos may be just looking to have a second act. And the thing about Stamkos, too, is that he's still really good. It's not even like what they did with Patrick Kane. Steven Stamkos just a couple of years ago had over 100 points and had over 80 this year. I think if you put Steven Stamkos on this team to maybe even, bump DeBrincat down a line, this is a guaranteed playoff team. A team that could win a series. A team that, if a couple things break right, could even be cup contenders. So give me Peaks. A lot of it, because it just has to happen, man.
You know what? Shout out to Detroit Arrow. He said Peaks. Big old Peaks. I think that's where I'm at as well. Flannel, you just got to be fired up for this. I'm hoping that it is more of a possibility than some of the rumors we've seen kind of floating around. But definitely Peaks, and more Peaks.
Yes. And I see in the chat a couple of times, and I wouldn't even necessarily mind this. Kane out, Stamkos in. At this stage, Stamkos would be a much, I think, better contributor for the Detroit Red Wings. I mean, shout out to Patrick Kane for what he did last year. We'll always appreciate that. But Steven Stamkos at this stage, being more of a two-way player, give me Stamkos. If it takes getting rid of Kane to get Stamkos, I would make that trade any day of the week.
Well, as Detroit Arrow said, big old Pete. Hey! On this one, bring him home. Bring him to Detroit.
Let's go.
Ditto. Sam explained it. I don't know all the intricacies to how it will all work with the team, so I was relying on Sam for this one. Peaks. I do know it would be a great addition, so bring him home.
Bring him
up to Detroit, Stevie.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Definitely, man.
Let's go.
It's like nice. Made me happy. Made me smile.
That would be trending. If that happens, that would be trending.
Woo. Goodness
100%.
gracious. No more Peaks and Cheeks?
No.
Oh man, I love these segments. They always seem like they're over just too early, man.
They are. Actually, they're over 4 minutes late.
Goodness. I love Peaks and Cheeks, though.
Yeah.
And you guys already know you can get some of the best segments on Woodward Sports. But Waco Woodward, man, I think that that's one we can definitely tip our caps to. Thank you guys for supporting the Waco Woodward show and the crew. We appreciate you guys greatly. You guys know you can catch us every day during the week, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. And when we're done with our starting five, next up is Big D Energy. Listen, you guys already understand. 4-time Stanley Cup champion, should be a Hall of Famer. I'm just playing.
Okay.
Guardian of Detroit.
He wouldn't even say that.
Mr. Darren McCarty co-hosting with the Golden Voice Neil Rule on Big D Energy. That's 11 to 1 every single day, Monday through Friday. Following them is University of Michigan great and legend, former NFL wide receiver Braylon Edwards, Media King Mr. Ryan Armani, and the lovable radio legend Tom Mazawed on Armani and Edwards with Maz. And then you can end your day with the Woodward heavyweights from 5 to 7. The big fellas, you guys already know, they're bringing you the biggest interviews, the biggest breakdowns, and the biggest laughs. Shout out to the Woodward heavyweights, and shout out to you, chat family, for making Woodward Sports your #1 digital sports network. We appreciate you guys greatly. Thank you.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Are taking over Michigan. Look, locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. They are actually doubling the number of restaurants this year. They are known for their quality hand-battered, hand-breaded chicken tenders, chicken sandwiches, and the New York style pizza. Can't forget about the Nashville hot pizza as well too. Look, be sure to stop into one of their mega stations near you, or you can always check them out and order online at Soroki's.com.
Let's go. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for supporting your crew. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully we can get some more giveaways going so we can make sure we continue to take care of you guys as well. Hey, somebody said we got fire segments. I know that LFG said it's JB Smooth time. Speaking of strong segments, and just before we get into that, you guys throw some fire emojis in the chat for Soroki's hot Nashville pizza, especially if you've had Soroki's before as well. Throw some emojis in the chat to support the sponsors as well. We appreciate you guys. But let's go, man. Let's get this thing kicked off. It's time for the most electrifying segment in sports entertainment. If you smell what JB Smooth is cooking, it's what's trending.
Hey,
what's
up, fellas?
Shout out KG.
Shout out KG. He's here in spirit.
Come on, brother. You got to do it real quick. Give us the J Bizzle.
J Bizzle.
There we go.
There we
For
go.
Shizzle my nizzle.
Let's go.
Yeah. Always want to say
There we
this.
go. Shout out to KG. I know he'll be back tomorrow with us, but I probably should have saved this for him too, because I know he's a nerd like me and like a couple of you in the chat as well too. But I had to show you guys this. And Flannel, I need to borrow some money.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Xavier School of the Gifted mansion that you can stay in as an Airbnb.
No way.
I am dead serious.
Ooh.
I know. So they've basically taken everything that we've known from the X-Men movies and the X-Men cartoon and kind of put them in this kind of 2D type of mansion Airbnb that you can rent for $1,500 a night.
Ooh.
I'm not too sure if that price kills you and whatnot, but it is $1,500 a night, and it is in New York. So the question is, 1, who's your favorite X-Men? And 2, are you willing to stay in this for $1,500 a night?
One, I don't have a favorite X-Men, unfortunately. I guess I'm an uncultured swine. I don't know. And 2, obviously I wouldn't stay in this, but at the same time, 1,500.
That's a lot of money.
Well, here's the thing, like to kind of go into the world of flannel again. The wife and I are planning a New England summer vacation in mid-June or so, and I'm kind of I've taken on the responsibility of getting us our lodging and our Airbnbs and all of that, and that's pretty. And obviously it's more expensive than you think, but even that being said, $1,500 for that mansion actually seems like a decent deal. Am I crazy for that? If you're like super filthy rich, it'd be kind of fun.
Hey, look, JB, after you buy that, can I at least get a tour?
A tour? Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
It
Broder,
looked-
what you think?
It looked like the School of the Blind that Clayton Bigsby grew up in. It just had that aura, the feels. But yeah, no, dude, Wolverine is my favorite X-Man.
Shout out to Detroit Arrow.
Shout
Cyclops
out.
is my
Wolverine.
dude. I'm sorry, I grew up a Cyclops guy, man.
Hey.
Love Wolverine though. I
Cyclops with an X?
Yeah.
Is it a
I
girl?
love-
Is Cyclops a girl?
No. No.
Oh my God, no.
Who's the girl? Who's the lady?
What?
Isn't there a girl?
Are you talking
Which
about?
one? You like Storm?
Yeah.
I like the Halle Berry variant.
Yes. Facts. That's what I was talking about.
Or Rogue, either or.
Or Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue was a good one as well too. But all right, so apparently a lot of people have been getting iced out this past couple of weeks. So I got to show you this. Jamar Chase just dropped $100K for this new diamonds that he has in his mouth, which is unreal, that he got from Johnny Dang.
What? 100K in his mouth?
100K.
Yep, your girls.
100K in his mouth.
100K right there.
It's too easy. Too easy.
brother?
No, too easy.
Don't do it, brother. Don't do it. And if that's not enough, apparently Caitlin Clark got helped out too by some of her teammates. They allowed her to wear some of their jewelry as they were taking team photos the other day. So she got iced out as well too.
See, the transition of this is why I couldn't make a joke about 100K in your mouth.
Hey,
I was gonna say I knew where you were going with that.
Yep,
and
nope.
I was like,
Didn't go there.
I can't
Wait,
remember.
so she got iced out too?
She got iced out too by her teammates. helping
How
her
much
out.
was that? Like, is it more than her actual WNBA annual
I'm
contract?
pretty sure it was.
Probably, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Wow.
That's sad.
So
It ain't touching the Nike money though.
That's fair.
It is not touching the Nike money.
it's like a continuation of the ice bucket challenge. Just raising money for charity.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta ask you guys: is 100K a little too much for diamonds in your mouth?
Yep.
Well, yes, of course.
Yes.
It actually makes me wonder a couple things about Jamar Chase, a guy who I really like as a player, but I don't understand about why anybody does that. It's more money than you know what to do with, and I guess I can't relate to that because obviously I'm not like a multi-millionaire NFL wide receiver, but it's just to me that's just what it is. More money than what you know what to do with. Might as well, right?
Yeah, you said it all there. I have no idea what's going on there, man. But I get it. It's part of the culture and things of that nature.
Yeah.
You get so rich that you just trying to find new things to do with your money to show it off. I could get a little bit better if this was like gold teeth or whatever. At least you could take the gold, melt it down. Those diamonds are so tiny. It's like, what are you like? Is that holding any value? Like, who's buying your teeth after you?
I don't.
It depends
No
if
one.
it's 50 down on the bottom or 50 mil on the top.
Oh my god!
What?
I can't.
What, guys?
Matthew Kruger, dog.
I can't believe you said that.
You see Matthew Kruger's comment?
What did he say?
Did not.
Oh my god!
Oh.
I'm not reading that one.
I'm not reading that one.
I'm not reading that one. Moving on.
Next.
Moving on. Like you said, hey, you need to find things to do with your money and your time, which I guess LaMelo Ball did. If you've seen his new tattoo that he just got designed on his back, he took a lot of time to do this, apparently. I don't really get it, but apparently he's called himself an alien.
No, Harry Mack is the only alien. What?
Rare one with the alien and the UFO thing. I really don't get this, but
I mean, it's kind of nasty. It's kind of stupid, though.
like,
I
it's
mean,
a sick
I don't
design.
want. Yeah, I don't want to judge him. I almost can't. You can't see like the bottom half of Rare once
Yeah,
it
you really
comes out.
can't.
It's like who was that skateboarder back in the day? Ryan Sheckler.
Ryan
Oh,
Sheckler,
yeah.
I did not like that guy.
Yeah. See, it looks like Dare or Dade. Should I tell him that? Should I DM him?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Yeah, DM.
I'm sure. Like, hey, you spelled that wrong.
Yeah,
See what he says.
what's that spell?
Like, I don't know. I guess he took a lot of time to do this. What do you guys think? Is this worth it?
Well, no. I mean, of course it isn't worth it. I mean, but I'm somebody who's never gotten a tattoo and will never get a tattoo. But the funny thing is, and again, I'm making it personal experience again. Bear with me, bear with me, guys in the chat, guys and gals in the chat, and everyone in this room. One of my best friends who I've known since 6th grade has like 15 to 20 tattoos all over himself. And the money that he spends on those things, it's like, hey, Red, how do you eat? Like, every time I talk to him, and I'm going to see him pretty soon, he's just like, oh, I'm saving this money for a tattoo. And it's like, I don't have money to save for a tattoo. Obviously, LaMelo Ball is a multi-millionaire, so it's completely different. It's just, tattoos have never really been my thing, but it's not horrendous looking or anything. It's kind of on brand. A lot of NBA players, a lot of athletes, period, have tattoos.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Matthew Kruger, too. He said, which Ball brother did the Pistons have? It was LiAngelo Ball, the one that wound up getting arrested overseas as well.
The
one who, the worst of the Ball brothers. It's subjective. I'm not hating. The others were top 5 picks, and LiAngelo wasn't even drafted.
LiAngelo was the one who was who got caught shoplifting over in China, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Quick exit. Last thing, Mitten Maid says about LaMelo Ball: spent more time on the tattoo table than the court.
Damn.
Drop that mic.
Damn.
It's true.
All right. Well, lastly, I'll end it with this. This is one of the coldest shots you will ever see.
Let's go, Hoops.
Woo! Wait. The point too.
And one.
We gotta see this again.
Ankle breaker.
I'm telling you guys, sometimes there's no. This is one of the top 5 feelings in sports, bro. The gym where the fans are just kind of huddled up on you. You're playing that kind of 4-on-4, 5-on-5, and you just made the move that made the whole entire gym stand up and run out on the court.
The point kills me. The point he pointed
It's
at him
epic.
too. Unreal. What do you guys think?
I love it, bro. Like, I just want to go hoop right now. Sheesh.
Do you know?
Absolutely love it. It's so disrespectful to the point, and then you hit the shot with the and one as well. Which means you cross somebody over, and you put a foul on a teammate.
I was going to say,
let's go.
Do you know what I think? And this, I can't confirm this, but I think this is what happened. Because the guy got crossed up so bad, but you notice it was an and one. I think the defender just wanted to go kill the dude who just crossed him up that bad and maybe hacked him a little extra. And I've done it in my days as a very low-level pickup basketball player because I got clowned more times than I would think that I could count. And you had some people kind of talking some junk, and then I'd get all frustrated and I'd maybe hack them on the arm. So I know the feeling. But I've mellowed since my younger days.
Sheesh, finally, we got to go ball, man. Like, this 5 got to go hoop somewhere.
Well, I mean, you probably want me to be picked on the other team, but that's another story for another day.
Hey, look, by the sounds of it, it sounds like you could be our Rodman, man. Straight up.
Excuse me?
Straight up.
By the size of it?
What?
What did you just say?
By the sounds of it.
Oh, the sounds. You heard me too.
What are you thinking?
That glass box of emotion cannot contain Matthew Broder.
Hey.
But that's it for what's trading, you guys.
Yes.
Back to
Oh,
you on the
man.
desk.
Shout
Let's
out
get
to
into some
Ray.
mailbag.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Rake, too. He said that he's all for a WSN pickup game. We need to really get that going.
I would absolutely be down for that. And Mitten Maid, flannel got handles? No, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Shad said something too. Oh, yeah, of course Sam is the hacker on the court.
We need him.
Let's go.
I was a really different person when I was in my early 20s and whatnot, trying to figure out my way through life. If somebody did something on a pickup basketball court, because I used to play a lot of pickup basketball in college and with some of my good friends from back home, I would take everything super personally. And I definitely had the sort of dismissiveness, being like the white guy on the court sometimes. So sometimes when I get clowned, they just point at me and everything, go ha ha ha. So I just developed a bit of a mean streak. But I'm a lot better now. I
like to hoop with those types of people, though. I really do, because I know every second they're on the court, they are going 150%.
That's facts.
That is a Brad Holmes guy right there. That's a Brad Holmes guy. Gosh, we got to make this happen. Hey, people, get your mailbag questions in. I think we took care of all the business today, and so we definitely want to make sure that we get to as many mailbag questions as possible before we break this thing down. But yeah, we're gonna have to figure out some type of way to move this thing forward, man. I would love to be able to do like even 7-on-7 flag football, basketball. Got to do baseball. We got Mr. Broderball in the building as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm telling you, just put me on the base paths. I stole my way to second team all league in baseball.
There you go.
I'll pick you off first base.
Ooh, left-handed pickoff move.
Easy.
Challenge accepted.
Ooh.
Done.
Let's go.
That was my
Let's
shit.
go.
Oh yeah.
All right, mailbag. Ed O'Neill. I'm trying to figure out the context of this because I don't know if as many are as afraid as he may be thinking. But he says, mailbag. Why are Lions fans afraid? When will the mentality shift? San Francisco 7, Green Bay 6, Philly 7, Dallas 8, all play tough schedules. Their fans aren't hiding behind the hard schedule excuse. Playoff teams.
Yeah, see, Ed, I agree with you and I disagree with you in some ways. I don't like the fans that are kind of softening the expectations. However, you also don't want to be that guy who just completely dismisses every other team. And I do feel like as time went on, even last year, that's how some Lions fans got. And I understand why. Lions fans had never experienced this kind of success. But even going into the San Francisco 49ers game, it was just like, the 49ers, we got this, no problem. But they didn't got this. So I understand both sides of that argument.
Man, yeah, I get that too. I think it's just a situation of with Lions fans, we don't know how to react or what to do. It's like, when it's up, we are way up. When it is down, we are way down. We're that kind of I don't know what to do with my hands type of thing. Like the start of Ricky Bobby's, like his superstardom. That's where Lions fans are right now. We just don't know what to do.
Yeah, and I think there is a bit of I would say confusion when it comes to like what we think this team should be. Obviously, I think we all think that they're going to be very, very good. I think respect for other opponents and scared are not the same thing. But I also don't like the kind of attitude of like Super Bowl or bust. How could you? Even Rod Beard kind of perpetuated that, but that's all well and good. And I'm not mad at Rod Beard for it. It's just I don't like that either. So I can kind of see both sides, as I've already said.
I appreciate how much you stand on business, bro.
Kiazi, mailbag. Why are Bears fans so cocky to the point where they believe the moves that they make trumps the moves that the Lions make, which automatically puts them as future division winners?
I mean... Yeah, I would agree with that. The thing about the Bears is that you can be excited about Caleb Williams, and I think that he's going to be a very good quarterback for the record. I've said so. But the Bears haven't had a good quarterback since Sid Luckman in the 40s. That's facts. Their best quarterback since Jim McMahon is Jay Cutler.
Damn.
That's facts. And I'm not saying, and again, this is a number 1 overall pick. This is a little bit different. And we've seen some of the moves that the Bears have made pan out, like Montez Sweat, like DJ Moore, like TJ Edwards. I think re-signing Jalen Johnson was a hell of a move. I think the Odunze pick was nice. Austin Booker. But you just never know. With a rookie quarterback, anything can happen. And they already just watched a quarterback that they were high on, or at least I think fans when they drafted him were high on, fail in Chicago, Justin Fields. You watched Mitch Trubisky before that. So, yeah, I think Bears fans are a little above their skis right now.
Awesome. Last one, Freddie Felt 313. I'll start with you, Kool-Aid. Mailbag. Who deserves the NBA MVP? I'm going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. SGA for MVP. PS KD will go back to OKC. Oh. Hot take.
Oh, wow.
So first, NBA MVP, who you got?
Man, that's a good one. That's a really good one because there's been some players who have impressed like SGA. I feel like the easy answer every single year is just give it to Jokic. I don't know, man. Who you feeling this year for NBA MVP?
I'll tell you what. SGA and Luka have a case. I would probably give it to Nikola Jokic, but even if I say that it could be SGA and Luka, and that would be perfectly fine, Neil Rule would say that I'm a hater. But the only way that you can properly praise Nikola Jokic in Neil Rule's eyes is to say that he's something twice what LeBron or Michael Jordan ever was, that he should win 10 consecutive MVPs. Of course, SGA and Luka Doncic have a case, but Jokic is going to win.
No, they definitely have a case. But I cannot get beyond the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, his teammates or lack thereof. I don't know. It seems to be him, but
Michael Porter scored 23 on 70% and 49% from three in that series against the Lakers. And I get it. No all-star teammates, all of that. Jamal Murray certainly elevates his game in the playoffs constantly. Michael Porter Jr. couldn't miss. So Nikola Jokic makes them all better, and he's the engine that makes it go. He's the best player in the game. I understand that. I don't like the fake victim Nikola Jokic narratives. That's all I'm saying.
Let's go. But I do love the SGA and the Luka Doncic
Sure.
love. I like
Sure.
It's fair.
The Thunder were the number 1 seed.
Yeah. I really like Anthony Edwards, though. Just in terms of just that absolute mentality.
He'll
that
win one in
killer
the
mentality.
future.
I really like Anthony Edwards.
Or Jalen Brunson.
I'll tell you
I
what,
like Jalen
he has
Brunson.
more of a case than you would think. Obviously not to win it, but Jalen Brunson, we all have a lot of apologizing to do to Jalen Brunson, myself included. People laughed when he went to the Knicks. Haha, the Knicks being so stupid. Jalen Brunson shut them all up, and credit to him. Shut me up. He's been phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal. I didn't think he was going to have the type of impact on the Knicks that he did.
No.
But, goodness gracious. I know when they were saying that they were selling completely out. And then, you know what? Houston Rockets as well. Going out there and getting Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks. Obviously, these guys don't have a claim to MVP, but just so they lifted this team from 22 to 41 wins.
Yep.
It's almost like, you know what? Scared money don't make no money. The Pistons got to get out there and spend some money on some players they know can come in right away and have similar types of effects. And it's goodness gracious, the Pistons. It always comes back to the Pistons for me.
That's all right.
Any last comments? Any other
Take us out, baby.
kind of mailbags or anything? I think it is time to go. Shout out to Eric Burrow. He said, "Great show, everyone. We appreciate it." Randall Smalls, great show, guys. Greg Allspot, great job, fellas. Vincent E, great show, guys. Keep putting out great content. Man,
Wait, real quick.
what's up?
Ed O'Neill, super chat, $1.99. Thank you, dude. Stroud has ruined rookie quarterback perceptions. Bro, you might be right. He had a historically good season. We got to remember that when we're acclaiming Caleb, and Caleb could be great, but CJ Stroud, his rookie season was unreal.
Best rookie season any quarterback's ever had.
Ever.
That's right. Ransom Morning Show gives Big D good material for later.
Yeah.
It's we're a team, we're a network.
Let's go.
Take us out,
and one
baby.
more from Nate Edgington, mailbag. Love y'all. You know what? We love y'all too,
Love you
man.
too, man.
Appreciate you guys for everything that you do to support us. Hey, it's why we rush in here in the morning to do what we do and to try and bring the best content as possible. I'm telling you guys should see how many notes Flannel Sam literally has, handwritten notes. You know, one day we're gonna have to hold those up for the people. But appreciate you guys for supporting us as always. Shout out to our 5, Mr. KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick. He will be back in tomorrow. I know Flannel, you'll be on Big D Energy tomorrow.
It'll be a spicy show, I'll just say that. I saw the preview of what the thumbnail is going to be.
Ooh.
Let's go. Yeah, we gotta get that run going. But in the sound booth today, Mr. Matthew Broder, our Lions and our Tigers credential beat writer and reporter. He stepped up again in place of KG. Thank you, brother.
Got you, man. Great show.
Great show. In the TD booth, we got Woodward Sports' MVP, Mr. JBSMOOOOOV.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Another great show once again. KG will be here with us tomorrow. And hey, it's a pleasure to do this with you guys every single morning.
Hey, let's rock. I love the hat too, by the way.
Oh, appreciate
So
that.
appropriate. Our vet of the squad, Mr. Flannel Sam, on the desk, as always, bringing that heat. Any last words for the people?
Great show. Great week of Wake Up Woodward shows for myself. I'll be on Big D Energy tomorrow, but I am always here. I'm always lurking around. I hear what you guys say, so just know, can't get anything past me.
Right. And it's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential beat writer and reporter for the network. Chat family, thank you for choosing to kick off your day with Wake Up Woodward. We hope that the rest of your day goes well. Tap into Big D Energy. It's on right after our show between 11 and 1. And support the rest of the shows today. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button before you leave. If you have, thank you guys so much. And we appreciate all of you for your support Have a blessed day. Then wake up Woodward. Hey, I love it.